Hello, and welcome back to another guided video. In this week's project, you'll work with a provided database file from an animal shelter to improve it. Let's go ahead and begin by downloading the start file. So I went ahead already downloaded it, so I'm not going to do it again. And then I'm going to find it. Once again, before you open the file, you need to right-click on it and go to the properties and select unblock. Once you've done that, that takes care of step one. Don't worry about renaming the file until you're trying to do a second submission. That's when you can rename it as, let's say, second attempt. So that takes care of step two. Step three, enable content in the security warning. So let's go ahead and open that up and enable the content. That takes care of step three. Now, it wants us to go ahead and create a new table using table design. If you can remember last week, I made a mistake of, as I going through this table here, I forgot to enter all the necessary information in the column. So make sure you don't repeat the same mistake I did. So make sure you look through each column and make sure that you have configured the values correctly. So yeah, let's go ahead and create a new table. So click on create. And then they want you to do it by using table design. So it's this icon here. And then you'll go ahead and create a table for you called table one. First thing we need to do is type in a field name called owner ID, no space. The data type is short text, so it will automatically select that. However, for the field size is 4, and you can find that value down at the bottom. Right now it's default to 255. Highlight that and change that into 4. In a description, go ahead and type in unique owner ID. Make sure you have spaces in this one. And then you can either click or tab to go to the next line. So I'm going to just type in owner last name. Hit tab on the keyboard to go to the next column, and then hit tab again to go to description, and type in last name, this time with a space. And then I'm going to move my mouse pointer down to the bottom to the field size, and then just type in 20 there. Click back into the field name, and just go down the column. So owner first name, tab short text. So it's easy. It's pretty easy that the data types are short text, so we don't need to do too much for that column. So for description is first space name. This time instead of 55, it's going to be 20 for the field size. Address short text, street address for the description. Field size is 40. You can double click to easily select the entire value. City, short text, no description. However, the field size is 20. You notice there's different ways. I'm demonstrating different ways of adjusting the field size. So I just selected the 55 and type in 0. State, short text, no description. However, it says the field size is 2. And then the zip, short text, zip code, and it's 5. Double click, and then I'll type in 5. Phone number, or just phone, short text, and it's contact phone number in the description. Field size is 10. All right, that's done. So part A is completed. Now for part B is asking us to set owner ID as the primary key. So click on owner, and then in order to establish that as a primary key is this icon at the top with the key. So that's pretty self-explanatory. So that's done. And you know that it's established when you see a key next to the owner ID. Now select the state field, and the default value is Texas or TX. So default values TX. Okay. And now it wants us to save the owner table. There's multiple ways to do it. You can click File, Save, or the easier way to do this, um, a little tricky right now. There we go. It's just my screen recording is blocking those my ability to click in that area. The other way to do it is just right click on the Table 1 tab, click on Save, and then instead of saving as Table 1, Part D is asking us to save it as owners. So type in owners. Okay. So Part D is done. And then you can tell that it's been updated when you see the word owners instead of Table 1. Or step 5 is asking us to create an input mask for the phone field. So part A is asking us to select the phone field. So just select that. You notice that as I'm doing this, I'm checking off the directions on the left. So this is just a good habit to do as you're doing it yourself. Part B is asking us to use the phone number input mask. So an input mask, click the 3-disc icon. It might be a little bit hard to see, so if you're on a smartphone or tablet, you can pin zoom to see what I clicked on. It's just that 3-dot icon. And it creates a input mask wizard. And we just want to go with the phone number input mask. So what input mask does, if you don't know, is that it applies the parentheses or zip code and then the dash between the numbers for you. You don't need to type that in. So that is pretty convenient. Instead of clicking finish, just hit next. Um, so that's part B. And then we don't want to make any changes here. Let's go hit next. And just make sure that without the symbols in the mask like this is selected and not the top one. Okay. And then just hit, at this point we can click on finish. Okay. And you know it's been updated when you see these values here in the input mask. Save the table, so right click on the tab, click save. Let's go back to the owner ID for step 6. And then for part B, it wants us to type in the red letters or the red values, like, quote, the 4 hash marks, quote. What that means is it's going to restrict the owner ID to a 4-digit number. So in the validation rule, which is down here, just type in like, quote, and the 4 hashtags, which is shift 3. I need to do one more. And then for validation text, it's basically the error window that pops up explaining what the error is. We need to go ahead and type in you must enter a 4-digit owner ID. That's the validation text. Let's go ahead and save it. And then they want us to switch to data sheet view. So right now it's in design view. Let's go ahead and select data sheet view. And then they want us to test it out. You can watch me do it, or you can try it yourself. So I'm going to type 11, and then I'm going to hit tab to go to the next row, or sorry, the next column. And of course, it created an error. And then the error is what we typed earlier. You must enter 4-digit owner ID. So let's go ahead and add 2 more 11s, and hit tab, and you notice I can successfully move on to the next column. Okay, so it works. It's always good to test things like this. Um, yeah, so we take care of part F. And then let's go ahead and part H is just asking us to remove the test value. So, okay. So in order to delete the test value. We just have to select the row, right click on it, and just select delete record, which is what part J is asking us to do. Otherwise, we won't be able to delete the fake value. Just say yes. Now it wants us to actually enter the records. So it's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 records. And for this project, you do not need to worry about saving another copy because we're not using a automatically generated unique ID. This owner ID, as you have noticed earlier, allows us to edit and change. So you don't need to save another version basically. All right, so let's go ahead and do some data entry. Owner ID is 0100, Washington, Tyrone. The address is 11 Lakewood Drive. I'm curious if this is these are actual addresses. Um, Abilene, I know that's a real city. Texas, 79601. It helps to have a number pad for zip and phone number. His phone number is 325 614 9333. Hit tab again to go to the next row. Vomer. Oh, sorry. Uh, it's numbers. So 0101. Vomer is his last name. Greg is his first name. 2601. None such road. That sounds fake. Um, it's good to kind of expand it to kind of make sure you enter the address correctly. So just hover between the two columns of address and city. You notice there's a vertical line with two arrows. So double click there and that'll auto expand. Yep, looks like I typed it in right. Denton is the city. The zip for that is 79606. The phone number is 325 555 1112. Tab 010102. Rivera Angela 2548 Laney Road, Denton, Texas 76208 940-321-8020 is her phone number. Tab 0103. Moyer Sylvia 6867 Angel Bluff Circle, Dallas, Texas 75248 972-380-6188. And the last record is 0104. Wills Mason 2421 Klondike Drive. Oh, I misspelled it. Got the L. Yep. Oh, wow. That the N is out of order. There we go. Yeah. Dallas 75228 214-224-5555. All right, so that concludes our data entry. Now we can just save and close the table. So save, close. Step 9 is asking us to determine the foreign key field. So this is when the relational database of access come into play. Currently, a field is not common across the owners and pets table. A one-to-many relationship exists between the two tables since a owner could adopt many pets, but each pet is only adopted by one owner. Makes sense. The foreign key comes by taking the primary key field from the one table and adding it as an additional field in the M table. Well, I guess it will make sense as we um, go through the steps. So first thing we do in part A is open the pets table in design view. So let's double click that. This is datasheet view. So um, another way to do this, instead of double click on it, you could just right click on pets and select Design View for the pop-up or the context menu. Okay, and now it wants us to add the foreign key field below the details field. So let's FK stands for foreign key, and then owner ID, short text description must match owner ID in the owners table. The field size is 4. Okay, so that's done. Save and close the pets table. Save, close. Step 10 is asking us to create a one-to-many relationships between the owners and pets table. So if you don't know this, Access is what they call a relational database. So this is where we actually get to practice that. So to access a relationship window, we go to Database Tools, and you notice it's a relationship icon. So let's go and click on that. That opens the relationships window. And then add the two tables. Okay. So it's good to bring them in the order of which is listed here. So let's go ahead and bring in owners. And then you can expand it by hovering over the bottom border, pull it down so you can see all the available fields. Then click and drag pets into it, and then you can expand that. Okay. Part C is asking us to drag the owner ID field from the owners table on top of the foreign key owner ID field, which is down here. So click and hold with your mouse, or if you're using a laptop, tap and hold on the touchpad, drag it, and then hover over FK owner ID, and then let go. All right, so you know you did it right when on the left column is owner ID, and on the right column is FK owner ID. Okay, so that's part C. Select the choices to enforce referential integrity and cascade update related fields. So enforce and cascade update. Um, Part D says leave the cascade delete related records unselected. The shelter does not want to delete pet records when it deletes information about the owner. Kind of makes sense, right? Sometimes owners have changed their mind about the pet they adopted, like it's just too active or they don't have time to take care of the pet, so they will return it. So when they delete the owner, they don't want to lose the information about the pet. So yeah, we do not want to have the last box checked. And let's go ahead and just click the create button. That's part F. And then you notice the one to many, which is shown by the infinity symbol. I guess that's another word for many. And yeah, so part G is asking us to save the changes and close it. So save and close. If you don't know what I'm doing, is I right click on the tab, and then when you do that, it creates that save and close option. Step 11 is asking us to enter the following data and the specified records in the pets table to reflect which pets have been adopted. So let's go ahead and open the pets table in data sheet view. So to do that, just double click on it, and this is the default view, the data sheet view. So that's part A. Part B is asking us to type 0100 in the owner ID fields, okay, for pet ID 1, okay. So my screen is kind of condensed, so in order for me to see the FK owner ID field, I need to drag my horizontal bar all the way to the right. Not all the way, but maybe just click the arrow key. Yeah. Or you can full screen it. I think um, full screen it can kind of help, but then you kind of like, what do I type? So I'll keep it um, condensed on the right side, but I'll just remember what the values are. So it's important to kind of keep track which row you're entering this value in, because it's not in all of them. So for pet ID 1, it would be 0100, And then for 103, so I'll just count down 1, 2, 3. That one should be, oh, for pet ID 3, should be 10103. And you can make sure you entered it correctly because you notice pet ID 3, it's 0103. Uh, for pet ID 12, it's easier to scroll back to the left. 12 is here, 14 is here. So kind of visually remember what those are. Um, okay, so let's scroll to the right. So that one is 010, and then for 14, 0104. Just to make sure, scroll back to the left. Yep. All right. Close the pets table. So when you're in data sheet view, it saves as you type. So let's go ahead and close that. And then for step 12, it wants us to view the related data records in the owner table. So let's go ahead and open it in data sheet view. Just double click. And you notice there's plus now. Okay. So click the plus sign on the left of the owner ID field for Tyrone, Washington. And you notice he has adopted 2 pets. He has a dog and a cat. Okay, so this verifies that we correctly entered the step 11 records. Okay, so let's go ahead and close it. You can just click the X button in the tab, close the database, and then yeah, let's go ahead and upload our file and then submit it for grading. So let's click back to the top, um, upload my file. Yep. And this is always the nerve-wracking one where it's trying to grade your project. For Access, it's a little bit slower because there's more back-end coding it has to go through to verify the accuracy and correctness of your project. Oh, okay. So I almost got 100%. It's a better score than last time on my first submission. So let's see here. What is this saying here? So you can always expand the arrow to kind of see where did I mistype the value? So I must have mistyped a value there. Yeah. So um, I'm not going to go through it to kind of fix it. So it looks like it's a data entry issue. Um, so for some of you guys, you have um, a desire to get 100% every time, which is fine. I mean, I give you up to 4 submissions, but honestly, with just this score, 96.15, I'm happy. Okay. So good luck on your project, and just make sure you enter the values correctly so that you can get the 100% score. All right. Thank you for watching, and good luck on your second project.